Greetings, Facebook, YouTube. This your boy, Terry the Teddy Bear Trucker, signing on from Perry Township, Pennsylvania, with another VPT update. I hope you guys can see me. The light in here is not so good. Maybe this will help. A little bit. It's a little blurry. Anyway, this is your boy, Terry the Teddy Bear Trucker, with an update. Wanted to do this yesterday for Christmas, but didn't feel up to it at the time. Things have been a little depressed. Over here, but we are maintaining regardless. But I wanted to give you guys an update. When I last spoke with you guys, and let you guys know that I was going off to flatbed training school with Carrier 1, and was able to successfully complete that. It was 3 days of orientation in Alsip, Illinois, and 2 weeks of on-the-road training with an excellent trainer, Craig, over there. 2 weeks of flatbed and load securement training, which went very well. What can I say about the Carrier 1 training program? Well, it is what it is. It's like whenever you start at a new company, you know, things are a bit slow. So it was 2 weeks of training. Orientation wasn't paid, but the training was paid at a rate of $100 a day. So I was able to make a little bit of money during the training process. But it was funny because I'm an experienced driver with almost 11 years of experience on the road. I actually have more driving experience than my trainer, which was funny. So instead of me basically doing all the driving, we actually teamed for the 2 weeks. So that was pretty cool. I still did a lot. I think a lot of the driving for the most part. But we were able to team and run some loads. We kind of got screwed up several times due to the delays in load planning or some things coming. So we actually had to sat a lot, almost two weekends in a row, because of poor load planning. And it seems like that's more common with the flatbed side, at least over here in Carrier 1. Load planning could be better. But for the most part, it was a good experience. I have just completed my first flatbed solo delivery here in Hebron. It was a little rough. I got the on my last day. Excuse me, this notification. Got the load on my last day of training. So after I finished driving all morning, they dispatched me on a load picking up into the late evening on the 20th. And being my first flatbed load solo, they loaded me fairly quickly, but it required a tarping, which I'm not very experienced at. In fact, in the 2 weeks that I was doing flatbed training with my trainer, we only had to tarp one load, so I only got to see it done one time. So needless to say, it took me about 3 hours to tarp this first load. It was rough. It was cold. It was outside. It took me about 3 hours to finally get it tarped and get on the road. But by the time I'd done so, my hours had been almost completely exhausted. So I got it as far as I could. But with the hours of service rule and me having to take a 10-hour break, I was unfortunately unable to make my 11:30 delivery appointment the next day, the 21st. And because of the holiday, it screwed me up because I wasn't able to deliver it until today, when it was rescheduled for today, Wednesday the 26th, so the day after Christmas. So I basically sat for about 3 or 4 days on this load, and I finally got it delivered, and was all set to pick up another load, but I had to deadhead 4 hours, a little over 4 hours to go get my next load, which was I was supposed to pick up today by 2:30, and I almost made it there, but at the very last tail end of the trip, I got stuck in traffic on I-70 and missed my customer by 45 minutes. So my second load already missed, and so I'm forced to sit again and wait until they can find me something, hopefully tomorrow. It was a rough trip at the tail end. The tail end of the specific customer is on one of those back roads customers where, the location is extremely difficult to get to. Very narrow back roads with turns that are not made for trucks, especially if I had right now I'm running a 48-foot trailer, and if I had a 53-footer, there was no way I was going to be able to get to this customer without seriously taking down some telephone poles and whatnot. You should have seen the gouges in the dirt of the side road of trucks that have had to make extremely wide turns to avoid some of these telephone poles that they put right on the corners of these turns. But luckily I was able to make it without destroying anything, without messing up my truck, and but unfortunately didn't make it to the customer in time. I missed about 45 minutes, so I was unable to pick up my second load, which was supposed to be a load of steel pipe. So hopefully I'll be getting something in the morning. I'm gonna take my 10-hour break and hopefully get another load early in the morning to get close to home. I haven't been home in over 3 weeks now, and I really need to get home hopefully before the New Year, so I can just take a break and center myself, collect my thoughts, and wrap everything else up for the year. It's almost a full year. Actually, yeah, I think we're maybe a couple days shy of a full year of running my own authority, and for the most part, it's been a pretty good year. The tail end of it, we got a little rocky with the market downturn, which is one of the reasons why I considered taking that time to come and learn the flatbed side, because the market was in a downturn. It seems to have been recovering a little bit, but I'm still not where I would like it to be. So I'm taking some hits financially between me having to park my truck and to come to flatbed school and the market downturn. However, my driver William Gladney has been a real trooper. As always, he's been going strong, doing his thing, keeping us afloat, and just running these roads. And he's definitely earned a performance bonus, which I hopefully going to pay him at the end of the year, because he's more than earned it. But things, other than that, things are going good. I'm actually in truck number 3, which is not really truck number 3 because it's leased on the carrier. This is the 3rd truck in the Veterans Blind Transport. Fortunately, because both my other trucks are insured under my authority insurance, I wasn't able to bring my truck over to Carrier 1. My insurance wouldn't allow it, so I was forced to lease another truck from Carrier 1 in order to do flatbed. So what I'm in right now is a used truck, but it's a 2018 Kenworth T680, and I'm renting a 48-foot renting out a flatbed from Carrier 1. The truck payment, surprisingly, I wasn't able to pick the truck I wanted. It was basically Carrier 1 gave me what was available. I was able to get an automatic, thank God, because that's what I wanted. It came equipped with a Carrier APU, which is actually a little disappointing at the moment, because it's a Carrier, first of all, and I'm only been familiar with Thermo Kings. And actually, here we are at the beginning of winter, and they gave me an APU unit that doesn't put out heat. For some reason, the heat is not working. So I've been forced to idle to stay warm. Of course, increasing the amount of fuel I have to burn and spend money on. So that's one of the things. I'm hopefully going to be able to get it fixed as soon as I find the nearest carrier close to home, service center close to home. I hope to get it fixed. But right now it's bearable as long as I can idle. But the bad thing about this truck is because it is a lease purchase, and they have certain stipulations to the lease where it has an anti-idle. So it actually has to be 40 degrees and below for the truck to idle, but the temperature gauge gives false readings. So right now the dash is saying, as we speak, 38 degrees and the truck is idling, but the actual temperature where I am right now in Perry, Ohio, is closer to 29 degrees, so it's off. So hopefully I will try to find a way to get that adjusted, because it's giving false readings. I got woken up several times during the night because the truck went off because it misread the temperature. But hopefully I'll be able to get that heat working sooner rather than later, and then I won't have to idle. pretty good year. Was able to renew my insurance by the skin of my teeth. The insurance for the 2 trucks in my authority in New York cost me almost $6,000 to renew, and that was just for the insurance premium. That was a big bullet to bite, because at the time I was in training, so I only had technically 1 truck running, and it wasn't. Really we made it by the skin of our teeth, put it that way. We were able to cover the insurance, so we all good for 2019. So other than what else is new? I had some other things I wanted to tell you guys, and I'm losing my train of thought. I've been a little down lately because things haven't been as prosperous toward the end of the year as it was in the beginning. In the beginning of the year, we were doing real well, and we're still maintaining. Don't get me wrong, we're still maintaining. We're still, Veterans Pride is still rocking and rolling. But between the downturn and me going through this training period for the flatbed, the revenue stream has dropped significantly because I'm not running under my authority, and right now I only have 1 truck running, which brings me to my next point. I am looking for a driver to take over my other truck. It is a 2018 Freightliner Cascadia automatic. I'm looking to possibly run that truck either locally or regionally. I need to find a driver so I can lock down a specific lane. So if you're from the New York State area and you have at least 3 years of over-the-road experience and you're looking for a job, please send an application to recruiting at veteransprideTransports.com. That's recruiting at veteransprideTransports with an S at the end.com. Taking applications. I really need to fill this truck so we can get that ball rolling and hopefully get our profit margins back where it's supposed to be. So do pay well. We're going to be incorporating a new pay scale the first of the year of 2019. I had to make some adjustments in the pay scale, but I am going to be making those adjustments coming January 2019. It's going to be a sliding pay scale based on trip mileage, so I had to make some adjustments there. It seems I was overpaying my drivers. So we're just making some minor adjustments with the pay scale. Still excellent pay. And once I have the second employee, I will qualify for a benefits package. So I have a benefits package lined up, ready to go, but I need to have at least 2 employees. So I'm definitely looking for another driver for my truck. If you're looking to work for a small mom and pop carrier, veteran-owned and operated trucking company is going to take care of you, give you the miles that you need, excellent pay, and treat you with the respect that you deserve, and get you on home when you need to. Please send an email requesting an application to recruiting at veteransprideTransports.com. I need to fill this truck as quickly as possible. So if you have at least 3 years experience, clean driving record, no more than 3 moving violations in the last 5 years, and no more than 1 at-fault accident in the last 3 to 5 years, send in an email requesting an application. What else is going on? It's been a pretty good holiday. I spent it on the road. Unfortunately, like I said, I got stuck due to the holiday, but otherwise, I'm in pretty good spirits. I was down for a while, but I was beginning to get my recovery, starting to get in the swing of things. Flatbedding is a whole different monster. It's going to take me some time to get my rhythm and get used to, doing it. It's a lot more intense than just running a drive-in, of course, and bumping docks. As a matter of fact, I think I've lost a pant size or 2 in just the time I was training. I started training up until now, so I think this is going to be a good way for the teddy bear to get back in shape. And I'm also going to have to make sure I make some money so I can buy some new clothes, because I'm starting to fall out of my clothes. Oh man, what else can I tell you guys? I think think that is pretty much it. We're looking forward to 2019 with a renewed sense of vigor. We have, like I said, we have 3 trucks now in the fleet. Only 2 are running right now. We need to fill the 3rd one as soon as possible, so we can really start continue our expansion and continue to build the brand name. And I think that's about it, guys. So once again, it's your boy Terry the Teddy Bear Trucker signing off.